In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a simple yet effective CRM using LibreOffice Calc. A CRM, or Customer Relationship Management tool, is a system for organizing and managing your interactions with current and potential customers. It helps you keep track of contact details, communication history, and follow-ups so nothing falls through the cracks. This is perfect if you're a freelancer, small business owner, or just someone who wants to stay organized without paying for a fancy platform like Salesforce or HubSpot. We'll build a clean and functional spreadsheet with automatic ID generation, dropdowns, date fields, and more. No coding macros required. Let's get started. Before we start building, let's talk about what we need and why we're making certain choices. LibreOffice Calc is free, open source, and works offline. That makes it a great choice for building a simple CRM for personal or small team use. Here's what we want our CRM to track: customer ID, first and last name, company, email and phone number, sales status, the date they were last contacted, and the date of the next follow-up. We also want to track any notes the salesperson may choose to document. Some design choices we're making are: customer ID auto-generates when an email is entered. An email is used to trigger the customer ID generation because in many CRM contexts, it's unique and essential. We want the status to be a drop-down list to prevent any typos. Dates are formatted properly so we can sort and filter easily. And we're going to avoid macros to keep it beginner-friendly and portable. Now that we have our blueprint, let's build it out. First, open a new LibreOffice Calc spreadsheet. In row 1 of your blank spreadsheet, let's add the following headers: customer ID, first name, last name, company, email, phone, status, last contacted, next follow-up, and notes. We'll make the headers bold by clicking and dragging to highlight all the header cells and clicking the B icon in the toolbar or pressing Ctrl B on your keyboard. Let's also freeze the first row by going to a cell right below the row we want to freeze. In this case, we will select A2. Then, in the top menu, we will go to View, Freeze Cells, Freeze First Row. That way, this row will stay visible while scrolling down the spreadsheet. You can also resize columns for better visibility. Let's automatically resize column H, last contacted, and column I, next follow-up, by hovering our mouse over the border between columns H and I and double-clicking. We'll then do the same on the border between columns I and J. Now, let's create the formula that will automatically generate a customer ID. Click in the first customer ID cell, in this case that's A2, and enter this formula. =, if, open parentheses, E2, less than, greater than, quotation marks, semicolon, space, quotation marks, C, in quotation marks, space, ampersand, space, text, open parentheses, row, open parentheses, close parentheses, semicolon, quotation marks, 0000, end quotation marks, close parentheses, semicolon, space, quote, end parentheses. Once you type that formula, press Enter. It will look like nothing happened. That seems really complicated, but it's a very simple formula. Here's what it does. It checks if the email field E2 is not empty. If there's an email, it generates an ID, like C0002 or C0003. The text function adds leading zeros so the number is always 4 digits. If the email field is blank, the cell stays empty. Since our email field in this row is blank, the cell is empty. That's why it looked like nothing happened. Let's put in a placeholder email in the cell E2 to test our formula. It works! Copy this formula down the Customer ID column. For the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to copy it down to cell A10. Conventional copy and paste keyboard shortcuts work in LibreOffice. Now, let's make the status column a drop-down to keep things clean and consistent. Select the cells in the status column. For this demo, I'm selecting cells G2 through G10. Now, in the top menu, go to Data, then select Validity. Under Allow, choose List. In the Entries box, type the following, making sure each option is on its own line: Prospect, Qualified, Proposal Sent, Contracting, Closed Won, Closed Lost. Click OK. Now each row will have a drop-down menu to pick the sales stage. Let's also apply conditional formatting to visually organize the sales stages. With the status column still selected, go to the Format menu, select Conditional, Condition, then select More Rules. Here's how to set it up. For Prospect, we'll choose Sale Value is equal to Prospect. We need to use quotation marks around the word prospect since we are using text to set the condition instead of numbers. Since the prospect status is the start of our sales process, let's apply a style that turns the background red as they need the most attention. One of the predefined styles for highlighting in red is labeled Bad. Let's pick that one from the Apply Style drop-down menu. For Qualified, Proposal Sent, and Contracting, we'll add 3 new conditions with a yellow background. One of the predefined styles for highlighting in yellow is Neutral. Let's use that one. For Closed Won, we want to use green. Again, we will create a condition for Cell Value is equal to Closed Won. Don't forget the quotation marks. And then we'll select the predefined value, Good. For Closed Lost, we want to use a gray background as the style. There is no predefined value for this style, so let's create a new one. Under Apply Style, click the drop-down and select New Style. We'll name this style Gray. Then, on the menu at the left, we will select Background. At the top, we'll click Color, and then pick one of the light gray options from the color picker. Now, click OK, and then look for our newly created style in the Apply Style dropdown. Once we're done creating our conditional rules, we'll click OK. Again, it appears as if nothing has happened, but that's because we don't have any data in these cells. This conditional formatting will make it easier to scan your CRM spreadsheet and instantly understand where each contact is in the pipeline. Now, let's format the last contacted and next follow-up columns. Highlight those columns, right-click, and choose Format Cells. Under the Date category, choose the format that you like. Then click OK. Now let's test our CRM. Go to cell B1, enter a name, company, email, phone number, and select a status. As soon as you enter the email, the customer ID should generate. Let's test our conditional formatting for status. Let's select Prospect. Now let's select Qualified. Now let's select Proposal Sent or Contracting. Let's say John Adams is now a customer. Let's change his status to Closed Won. Perfect. Pick a date for last contacted and next follow-up. Then, let's add some notes. We now have a clean, functioning CRM row. Just remember, a CRM is only as good as the info you put into it. If you forget to update it regularly, you'll still end up with gaps or outdated information. And that's it. You've built a simple, powerful CRM in LibreOffice Calc with automatic ID generation, dropdowns, and date tracking. No add-ons, no macros, and no subscriptions. If you found this helpful, give the video a like, subscribe for more tutorials, and drop a comment if you have questions or ideas for improvements. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.